Here is rapid fire solution set for your 10 test questions. I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In our previous video, we have shared with you 10 questions on logarithms. Now, these questions are very popular for pre-calculus courses. We call them advanced functions, and the course is very popular for IB and AP students. We are actually learning the skills to solve problems based on logarithmic properties, logarithmic equations, checking extraneous roots, and prepare for tests thereby. I'm very thankful to all my supporters. With your help only, we can reach millions, and that's the objective. Keep watching and keep providing your suggestions. Thanks a lot for all that support. Now, in this particular video, we are going to provide you with all the answers you need for the questions shared with you. Now, this is going to be slightly faster. I'm not going to teach you the skills to explain how we have derived at the result. This is a test preparation, so I hope you know the basic concepts. So, we'll straight away walk into the solution of these 10 questions shared. I'd like you to work with me and provide the solutions as we move along, correct? So let's begin with the very first question. And before that, well, in case you want to learn from me, feel free to send an email on the address given globalmathinstitute at gmail.com. We can help you build a successful path for a great future. So, that is what our logo is all about. We really help students to achieve their best. Great. So let's begin with the solution of the question here. We need to evaluate the value 6 log to the base 2 of square root 2, right? Now, this can be done in many ways, as you know. So, one of the best ways which I like about it is to write the square root as 2 to the power of half. And since we have the same base, we can write this as half times log to the base 2 of 2. You know, log to the base 2 of 2 is 1, so it is half of 6, which is just 3, right? So, that could be a good way of solving it, right? Here is now question number 2, which is write as a single logarithm. The logarithm given to us is log to the base 7 x to the power of 4 plus half log to the base 7 again x to the power of 4 minus 1. So this looks a very simple question, but it is different from many which we have seen so far. The idea is that we took these two things exactly same and we took a number which does not have a log in it. Now how do I combine it? That becomes a challenge, right? So how do I work with this minus 1? That is what our main focus is at the moment. Well, you can definitely combine the first two terms, which means half log to the base 7 of x to the power 5, 1 plus half is 1 and a half. You can write this as 3 by 2 log to the base 7 x to the power of 4. That is not an issue. You could do it, right? Many other ways you could have done it. Agreed. But how should I bring that minus 1 into a logarithm? Well, that gives me an idea. I could write this 1 as log to the base 7 of 7 itself. Now it makes sense, right? So, whenever the numbers are given to you, you can use this concept of log to the base b of b is 1, right? Simple as that. So, this is the concept which I wanted to teach you from the particular example. Clear? Not this is simple, right? We could write x to the power of 4 times 3 by 2, correct? And then we will just combine them. Okay, 7, 7. And this is log to the base 7. So minus means divide by. And we have x to the power of 12 divided by 2 is 6, right? And then over 7 itself. Clear? So that could be a way writing it as a single logarithm. Is that clear to you? Perfect. I hope it provides you with some simple techniques and strategies. feel free to send an email on our address globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Our students are really they're right on top of their class. You can be there, right? So that is what we say when we say success path. Perfect. So you can send an email today. Perfect. Here is question number 3. There are typing errors here. So just forget about some typing errors. A lot of things to do rather than just focusing on these. Uh, the question here really is, you can read it, but it really means that log of x square y over square root xy is given to us. We need to write it in combination of logs. It's just the reverse operation of what we did in our example number 2. So basically, as I'm walking you through, in first question we learn how do we evaluate, second one how do we combine the log terms, and here we are trying to split them apart, right? So a couple of ways to do it. How will you like to do it? Well, you could also simplify this, right? Or you could straight away write it as product and sum, like, right? So the numerator seems to be this, and the denominator will be minus, so you could start like this, right? Not a bad option. And then from here you could continue writing to get your final result. So here you could write this as log of x squared plus log of y. So we are just pulling all these things apart. So you could say log of square root of x, right? Now, these two things are multiplied, but they are with the negative sign, right? So you could write like this, just giving you ideas, not really solving the questions for you, right? Okay. Anyway, so you could expand this and write this as 2 log x, right? Here we have log y, perfect. Open the bracket, half, you can write like this, correct? Log x, open the bracket, half log y, correct? Now you can combine the terms. So 2 log x minus half log x will gives you 1.5, right? So 3 by 2 log x. And log y minus half log y gives you half log y. So that is how you could write it in terms of logs, slightly simplified. I hope it makes some sense. So you'll see that these questions are kind of similar to what you get in your test, right? Very good. Slightly one edge up. Here is your question number 4, which is solve the equation log to the base 7 x plus 1 equals 2. 1 minus log to the base 7 x minus 5. So we can bring the terms together and then solve it. So let me rewrite the question by bringing the terms to the left side. So I'm not copying the question this time. I'm just bringing them together on the left side. And so that gives me log to the base 7 of x plus 1 plus log to the base 7 of x minus 5 equals to 1. So now I can combine these and write this as x plus 1 times x minus 5 is equal to 1. Now, to solve these logarithmic equations, you should always look into domain. That is the strategy. So, a tip here is to look into the domain, right? So, let me write down the tip here for you. Check domain. As these questions might have extraneous roots. So, what could be the domain? So, x we know is greater than equal, not equal to, greater than minus 1, right? Okay. But here x should be greater than 5, and therefore we are looking for something which is x is greater than 5. So any answer below 5 will not be accepted as the right answer. That will lead to extraneous roots. Perfect. So remember that part. Now, coming back to our question, we have x plus 1 times x minus 5 equals to 1 written in exponential form. We get what? Exactly what I said, right? Equals to 7 to the power of 1, which is 7. Now, this is a quadratic equation. Expand, simplify. We get x squared minus 5x plus x minus 5 equals to 7. Bring them together. We get x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals to 0, right? Now, let's solve it further. So, we have x squared minus 4x minus 12 12, 6 times 2 can work for us, right? So x minus 6, bigger number is negative, x plus 2 equals to 0. And clearly, that gives us two solutions, x equals to 6 and x equals to minus 2. And the only solution is x equals to 6. This is extraneous, right? That is what I meant, right? You don't have to check it now because we know that the domain is x greater than 5. So our solution is x equal to 6. Makes sense, right? Very important logarithmic equation. I hope it is making sense to you. Feel free to write a comment, share your views. If you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. And as I'm telling you again and again, send email, learn, and be on this success path. Great. So let's move on. Another equation for you. You can now pause the video, right? Answer the question and then look into my suggestions. So once again, I'm not copying the question this time, but simplifying it in single logarithm, which is log the base 4. X minus 3 plus in between means again I'm going to multiply it. So this question is very similar to what we did just now. So quadratic equation once again, x minus 3 times x plus 3 equals to 4 square, which is 16. And the left side, we have difference of square, right? X square minus 3 square, let me write, equals to 16. Okay, I can take 3 to the other side, means square 3, right? Equals to 16 plus 9, which is 25. So x is plus minus square root of 25, which is plus minus 5, correct? Now, what should be the right answer? Good question. So, from the question, we can see that the domain is x should be greater than 3. So, definitely our solution is x equals to 5, right? Oh, sorry. It was plus minus 5. So, x equals to 5, not minus 5. So, once again, if the question is identify the extraneous root, you should write that minus 5 is an extraneous root, right? In this case, we just need to solve. So, the right answer being provided. Perfect. So I hope you're with me halfway through, right? So, once again, check our website for latest updates, send an email for learning from us directly, and be on this success path. Learn from me. Thank you. Okay, great. Question number 6. It's a difficult question. So now, the later half, we have got very good questions for you. The others were also good, but they were simpler. Now we have an equation 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of minus x equals to 4. How do I solve this? What we could do is rewrite this and say, well, this is 2 to the power of x minus. That power really means 1 over 2 to the power of x equals to 4. Correct. Now let's multiply by 2 to the power of x. So we get 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of x, correct? Minus 1 equals to 4 times 2 to the power of x, right? Right. Now, as you can see, this becomes a quadratic equation. So let's do a substitution. So we'll say let 2 to the power of x be some number. Let's call it p, right? Okay. So we get an equation which is p squared minus 1 equals to 4p. Perfect. Let's rewrite this equation. We have a quadratic form. We have p squared minus 4p minus 1 equals to 0, bringing them all together. Perfect. Now, uh, it looks like 1. So we have to use quadratic formula to find the solution of this particular equation, correct? So, what we do is use the quadratic formula p equals to 4 plus or minus 4 square, which is 16, minus 4ac. This becomes plus 16, right? Over 2a means 2. And that gives me the value of p as 4 plus minus 16 plus 16 is 32. You could bring 16 square root outside, square root 2 over 2, right? And that gives me the value of p as 2 plus minus 2 square root. So we have a value of p as 2 plus minus 2 square root 2, right? So that becomes the value of p. But the p is 2 to the power of x, right? So we can write this as 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 plus minus 2 square root 2. Makes sense? So once again, we have come to a solution here, and we know this exponential equation has now the values. And clearly, exponential functions are always positive, right? So we see there is a redundant root. We cannot do 2 minus 2 square root 2. Perfect. And therefore, we have 2 to the power of x equals to 2 plus 2 square root 2, right? So that is the solution. And to find the exact answer, what should you do now? Well, you can take logarithms on both the sides and then answer. So let me just write what 2 plus 2 square root 2 is, just a number in a way. 4 point, so we get 2 to the power of x is equal to 4.8284, right? That is what it is. So now we can take log both sides. Taking log both sides help us to get the value of x. So logs, are inverse of exponential functions, right? So you see, it's a difficult question. Perfect. Okay, great. So when you take log, you get x log 2, right, equals to log of, we are taking log to the base 10, 4.8284, and the value of x is log of 4.8284 divided by log of 2. Make sense? Right. So let's do it. So we say log of the number 4.8284, and we divide this by log of 2. And we get an answer, which is x is equal to 2.271. So I'll write 2.27. Is that clear to you? So many logarithmic equations or exponential equations, when you solve, you might get decimal values as we have in this particular case. And remember, very important, exponential equations, especially when the base is not, uh, you know, uh, 10 or e, and we land up in decimal numbers, we may use change of base formula and then use calculator to get the answer. Perfect. I hope this is absolutely clear. Now let's move on to the next question, which is question number 7. So we are given solve the equation log to the base 5 of, let me rewrite this also, log to the base 5, 625. I hope everything is making sense so far, right? Log to the base x of 81 equals to log to the base 2 of 16, right? Minus log to the base 2 of 8. That's the question for us. Okay, great. So the unknown here is, of course, x. We need to find the value of x. Log to the base 5 of 625. So, 625 is 25 square. So 5 to the power of 4, right? So we could write that as 4, right? So let me rewrite this. So we get log to the base 5 of 5 to the power of 4. Makes sense? Okay. We'll take this on the right hand side. And here we have log to the base 2 of 16 divided by 8, right? So and then I'm multiplying this by log to the base x of 81. Makes sense? Correct. So we have a number here which is 4, right? And then equals to log to the base 2 of 16 divided by 8 is also 2. So that is just a number 1, right? So we have log to the base x of 81. Correct. So we have x to the power of 4 is equal to 81. Correct. And that gives us the solution, right? So x to the power of 4 is 81. 81 can be written as 3 to the power of 4, and therefore x is equal to 3. Makes sense. So we had very good numbers to work with, but you had to rearrange, and that is the beauty of this question, right? So I hope it is all making sense. Feel free to write a comment, share your views. If you like and subscribe to our videos, be great. Send an email to learn and to succeed. Perfect. So last 3 questions. Question number 8. So this question can be new for some students. We have nested logarithms now, right? So log to the base 3 of log to the base 2 of x minus 1 equals to 0. Let's take 1 on the other side. So we get log to the base 3 log to the base 2 of x equals to 1. Convert to exponential form. So log to the base 2x equals to 3 to the power of 1, which is 3. Again, let's convert to the exponential form, right? So we get x equals to 2 cube, or x is equal to 8. So we got our answer, x is equal to 8, and you can clearly see that it works. Perfect. So not an issue. I hope so far we have answered 8 questions and all are absolutely clear to you. Here is question number 9. So we are given log to the base 4 of x squared minus 9x plus 18 minus log to the base 4 of x minus 3 equals to 2. How do we solve it? Let's do it. So what I'm going to do is combine it. So I'm writing as log to the base 4 of x squared minus 9x plus 18, and minus means divide, right? X minus 3, everything equal to 2. Convert to exponential form. So we have x squared minus 9x plus 18 over x minus 3 equals to 4 to the power of 2, which is 16. Clear? And now let's factor. So 18, 6 and 3 can work, right? So we have x minus 6 times x minus 3, x minus 3 equals to 16. So x minus 3 cancel. We get x minus 6 equals to 16, x equals to 16 plus 6, x equals to 22. Makes sense. So we could actually solve this equation now. Is 22 a valid question example or not? This you should see, right? So important thing is that we factored this numerator. So it was a quadratic equation. You can think about a parabola, right? Opening upwards. Now these two zeros for us were at 6 and 3, right? So let me write 3 and 6 here. So everything valid is beyond 6 and less than 3 in this particular case for that part, right? And for this part, we're looking for x greater than 3, right? So basically, everything greater than 6 is working for us. So basically, x is greater than 6, correct? Since our domain is x greater than 6, this is a valid answer. Perfect. So that is how we are going to solve this question. I hope it makes sense. Perfect. Last question for you, which is solve 5 to the power of x plus 4 equals to 2 to the power of x minus 5x. Let's see how do we solve this question, right? Okay, so when the base are different, we need to take the logs and change the base. So two things we need to do. When you take logs on both sides, we get x plus 4 log of 5, right? Equals to x minus 5x. X minus 5x, I think there could be a typing error here, right? I'm not sure. So it could be a typing error because x minus, I think it was x minus 5. So anyway, uh, while you're solving, you can try with x minus 5. There's a typing error. We'll go with this question itself. X minus 5x, we know it's minus 4x. Okay. So there we go. We got log of 5. So we can rewrite this. Actually, let me correct it. I think it was 2x minus 5. So I'm making a correction here. I'm making exponent as x minus 5. Okay. Now let's see if it makes sense. Okay. So what we have here is x log 5 plus 4 log 5. 4 log 5 is a constant equals to x minus 5. So bringing x to the left side, we say x log 5 minus x equals to 4 log 5 minus 5. I could have done the other way also. So x common, we get log 5 minus 1 equals to 4 log 5 minus 5, correct? Okay. So if that is the case, we get the value of x as equal to 4 log 5 minus 5 over log of 5. minus 1. Is that clear to you? So I changed the question to 5 to the power of x plus 4 equals to 2 to the power of x minus 5. If it was 5x, no problems. It was just an x value which I could have taken on the left hand side and solved. In either case, you could do that one also. Anyway, I hope you have understood the method of doing this particular question, right? I like you to use the calculator, evaluate the answer, and write it down. So I'll leave that with you. Perfect. And you can write your answer in the comments also. Feel free to provide your suggestions. If you like and subscribe to my videos, be great. And once again, we are taking students these days. So you can always send an email on the address given. Learn to succeed. Okay. So that is the best. So here we are to help you out. Thanks for your time once again and all the best.